Morning everyone. Just thought I'd do a May's course report. A little bit later than normal, but we've been very busy out at the golf course. Grass growing around our ears. It's that time of year, but on the whole, not too bad. So it's May the 21st, and I'm out here on this gorgeous morning. Another great day for golf. So we'll touch on the weather. So in April, we only had 13 mil of rain, which is really low in comparison to other years and on average. And so far in May, we've had about 30 mil. In fact, the last Thursday and Friday, we had a nice storm Thursday. We had about 20 mil, so that's been really nice. So golf course is still quite dry. So the rain has helped, but on the whole, it's quite good really. So I'll run you through the normal subjects, do a normal course report. Obviously, we're gearing up for the couple of majors we've got coming up. President's Putter in just a couple of weeks' time, and obviously the big one, the Club Championship, at the end of June. So I'll run you through the report. Any questions, as always, see me out at the golf course, leave in the comments box, or pop in the office and speak to me through there. All right then. So in the green section of the report this month, on the whole they're pretty good. Obviously I reported last time about the irregular growth. That's obviously all caught up with each other now, and it's all growing at a decent rate. Cutting greens every day, getting quite a lot of grass off at the minute. Seed head's still a bit of an issue, which we will verticut, but it's just all normal for this time of year really. Obviously that little bit of rain we had last week was brilliant, just to help them grow up a little bit. But on the whole, the greens are pretty good. A little bit bobbly still, a little bit bumpy, and this coming week we're going to verticut again to remove some of the seed heads, and we're going to put a light dressing on. We did do this about a month ago, and you know, it was an instant improvement on the greens. So, but greens health wise, really good, no disease at all, clean surfaces, cutting at 3.5 mil now, so we're down to our summer height. Obviously we do take them down that little bit lower for the Club Championship, but 3.5 mil is roughly where we sit at now for most of the summer, which is, you know, nice. Cutting and rolling, like I say, quite regularly, but on the whole, other than a little few bobbles, which, you know, the top dresser will sort that out, or the Sam top dressing will sort that out. I'm really pleased with the greens. So this is the 15th green I'm on at the minute. I'm pretty good. Report's all good really for the greens. I'm quite pleased. So for the tees section of this month's report, they're growing at a phenomenal rate at the minute. The weather is perfect for growth, warm and wet. And early April, someone decided to put some slow release fertiliser on the tees, which is biting us in the bum a little bit now, because they won't stop growing. The right thing to do, to be fair, but it does get a bit annoying when you can cut a stripe on a tee and you look behind you and it's growing. So tees are a little long because of this. We cut them twice a week at the minute. Phenomenal amount of grass coming off, but we've still got all these seed heads kicking around. So if I zoom down into here, you can see all these sort of type seed heads, which is, it's just natural it's the way the grass reproduces, and it does it every year. But until they calm down, we're going to get this phenomenal growth. So our tees are pretty good. So they've got some great coverage on them this year, which I'm really pleased with. They're just growing at a phenomenal rate. Some of the tees have got a few weeds on, and we have got in stock all of our selective weed killer, which we're looking to put out as soon as possible really. But it's been really quite windy so far this year, and picking our spray days has obviously been quite difficult, but we do plan on spraying pretty much the entire golf course with selective weed killer, looking at clover, daisies, them sort of thing. So that will improve the look of the tees as well. But on the whole, the tees and the approaches, are in good nick, and I'm pleased with them. I'm going to do a little section this month on bunkers. Now, bunkers are always a problem on every golf course. Golfers hate them, but it's part of golf. They've been around for years. Now, they are a hazard. They're not meant to be perfect. They are meant to penalise you. And we try our best with our bunkers. They're difficult here because of the drainage system. We've experimented in a few ways. We've brought in a bit of kit this year as well that helps rotivate all the sand up and make them a bit fluffier. People tell me there's not enough sand in the bunkers. There's loads in there. I've even taken sand out of some of the bunkers where there's that much. But I think we do reasonably well with our bunkers, to be fair. And I do have a moan myself now. Sunday morning, so we've had a competition day yesterday, and that is a state of one of our bunkers left by our members, and it's not on. And I've moaned about this before, and I get told it's the visitors. It's not the visitors. We never had that many visitors yesterday, and these were all full rates yesterday, and they're full rates every day by the green staff, and it takes a couple of hours now to go around and do this, and to leave a bunker in that state is not on. So could we all please take that little few seconds after you've been in the bunker to rake it? Because I know if my ball landed in one of the footprints, I would have the ump, and it's not fair. So you moan at me for bunkers, I'm doing one back now. Leaving bunkers in that state is not on. So can we please take the time to rake our bunkers? We do our bit to try and make them as good as we can. You can do yours. So to give you an update on the 8th green works, really pleased how this is progressing. So it's all been turfed, and as you can see, looking pretty good. So give it a little trim last week, and obviously it's going to need another one this week. But the green itself is built, laid, and progressing really quite nicely. So a lot of people say to me about how small this green is. It's not. You need to get up close to it. Stand on the tee, it looks tiny. Stand on the current 8th green, it looks like a small target. It's actually quite a big green. We sort of modelled it on the 15th, that sort of size. It's actually a bit bigger. So although it does look small, and I know it does, it's actually not that small at all. So it's progressing quite nicely. I'm really quite pleased. So the hole itself now, so we've got a bunker at the front here, it's all built. We've got one at the back, which you can't see from here, and then we've got one at the side, but the one at the side we're actually going to fill in, not make it a bunker now. We're going to make it like a bit of a runoff area, grassy bunker. To have that extra one on the side there, we felt was a little bit penal, so we're going to do away with that one. But you've got one at the back, one at the front. Beyond the green, obviously you've got runoff area. Short of the green, you've got an approach. What we're going to do this week coming is get a digger over here and remove all the grass off the surround, the whole way around it, rotivate it, level it, and then we're going to reseed it. All being well, we're going to, in a week's time, this will be finished and let nature do its thing. So the actual, from when we started this in February to now, it's been brilliant. The lads worked really hard on this. I'm really pleased how it's gone, and hopefully things will work out, all goes green and starts looking like a golf hole. But yeah, I'm really pleased with the 8th green. I'm really pleased how it's all gone. One downside, the trees that we removed from behind the current 8th green, we gave them a 10% survival rate, and that's proved to be the case. So they've all got to come out. They're all dead. As much as we tried, as careful as we was, you can't not break some of the roots when you put them out with diggers like that. And you know, it's what we feared has happened, so they're going to have to come down. It has give you all a visual of what it would look like with trees behind the green, so hopefully we can do something to either move some more trees properly with tree spade, or purchase some so we can put there. I think it's a good little sort of cover from the 7th tee as well. But the 8th green works, it's progressing really well, and really pleased how that's all gone. Just want to touch on the fairways on the golf course. In April we got some machinery in to scarify and overseed all of our fairways, and the results of them are now starting to come through. Obviously it didn't rain for 3 weeks after we did it, so the seed sort of sat in the ground. 2 ton of grass seed went out in the fairways, but the work has now sort of proven to be beneficial. And in terms of scarifying, we was in the situation of how high to set the machine on not so much the flat ones, but the ones out in the marsh, 5 and 6 especially. We had to set the machine low enough to do something, but unfortunately that meant scalping a bit at the top of the sort of the bumps and the ridges, which we have tried our best to sort of make good with divot mix and things like that, but it was a bit of a lose-lose situation. However, the areas where it did get, it's definitely made better coverage and things like that, so it wasn't too bad. Standing on the 13th fairway, the new one. Just panning down to this now. Considering this was an absolute disaster last year, I'm actually really pleased with how it's turned out. It's actually looking pretty good. There are still a few scabby bits on it, but on the whole, it's actually a decent fairway now. It's a lot flatter, a lot better than what it was, better playability. So considering that was, well, what we called a disaster, it's actually turned out all right, to be fair. So that's the fairways. We did feed them last week, week 4. So all that seed, all that new growth, which is again, I said to you about the tees, making them grow at a phenomenal rate and become a bit of a ball ache, but it's all worth it. And again, as spoke about earlier, we're gonna put weed killer down on all this, all of our fairways, rough and that, get rid of them daisies and the clover. So that's the fairways. Obviously rough as well, it's that time of year. It's laid pretty dormant for the last sort of 5-6 months. It is starting to grow, it is starting to thicken up. You know, hopefully we'll get the thin wispy grass soon, but you have to go through that growth period initially. We have made a few changes to the rough from last year, mainly from the tees to the fairways. A lot of the carries are going to be cut down and shortened, but the rough on the side of the fairways obviously remains. So that is the fairways and the rough. So that is this course report over. To summarise, late May, doing all right. Everything could be a little bit better, but on the whole, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. So we've got a bit of work on the greens. Like I say, we've got a couple of majors coming up, so we start to get ready for that. We've got a few jobs outstanding as well. A few bunkers still to do. Little things like the new practice nets have turned up. Got to try and get them out. Got to finish the little fence over the range. Obviously the 8th green's taking up a lot of time at the minute, but that's nearly finished now. Grass is growing at a city rate, so a lot of the lads sitting on mowers. It's a busy time of year for us, but we're coping quite well, and I'm quite pleased with how it's all going. So I hope you've enjoyed this month's course report. I hope it's all made sense. Please take note of what I said about the bunkers, because that is one issue that we've got that's so easily fixable, just a few seconds after you've played the shot. But any questions, obviously leave them in the comments box. See me out in the golf course, go through the office. Loads of ways to get hold of me. You know, I'll always do my best to answer any questions you've got, honestly. And on the whole, Sheerness is a good place to play golf at the minute. So thank you very much, and I'll see you all soon.